This is Selkirk's newest release, the Labs Boomstik. It's their first elite tier power paddle by today's standards, and it makes a big step forward after a few years of what most would agree were fairly underwhelming releases. These paddles absolutely rip, right up against the legal power limit. And they also deliver great spin, forgiveness, and feel. So here's the question. In this summer with a bunch of other top tier paddle launches, can Selkirk justify a $333 price tag when there are several other elite performers selling for over $100 less? Let's find out. Selkirk sent me these paddles to test with no obligations. They didn't pay me, didn't preview this video, and had no input on its production. If you use my affiliate code to buy one, you'll get a discount and I get a small commission, which helps support this channel. The Boomstik is part of Selkirk's Labs program, so it's priced at $333, so one of the highest on the market. However, if you leave feedback on Selkirk's site within 60 days of launch, you'll get a $33 rebate. And with my code INF-JOHNKEW, you'll receive a $40 digital gift card for any Selkirk product. It comes in two shapes, so an elongated and a wide body. And these shapes were introduced recently with the Selkirk SLK era and will be standard going forward. I'll show my own measurements on the screen here, and they may differ slightly from Selkirk's listed specs. The key standouts are an extra long 5.8-inch handle on both shapes, low swing weights, and very high twist weights. That combo translates into faster hands and a larger sweet spot. And we'll dig into more details on why that matters soon. So let's talk about the tech that puts the boom in Boomstik. And there are three standout features that you should know about when deciding if the $333 price tag is worth it. Number one, a dual density full foam core. Number two, the MOI tuning system, which is a first of its kind perimeter weighting. And number three, the Infinigrit surface texture, which has 3 times the durability of raw carbon fiber in ASTM testing. Starting with the X-ray, you can see the full foam core surrounded by a second band of softer EVA foam. There's also a yellow edge foam that starts at the neck and extends into the handle. And instead of more foam going into the handle, they're using honeycomb polypropylene, so probably to keep the weight down. So here the MOI tuning weights stand out clearly in the X-ray. These are mounted externally on the edge guard. Now let's crack one open. And first I wanted to take a look at these MOI weights, which are very securely attached. And please don't try removing them, you will damage your paddle. They're housed in electroplated plastic shells, and inside is what looks like a soft yellow metal, likely copper. On the scale, they total just over 15.5 grams combined, or just over half an ounce. And here's a concern I have. When I did remove these weights, the edge guard loosened up underneath them. So I had to pry pretty hard, but the edge guard did come off more easily than I'd like. I'll circle back to that in a minute. Inside the handle, you'll find quality materials, so hard polyurethane pallets that give a defined shape and firm feel. Removing part of the edge guard revealed a unibody design with a single carbon fiber seam running down into the handle. Slicing the paddle open shows a black expanded polypropylene EPP foam core surrounded by a band of softer EVA foam. The foam stops before the handle, which is filled with honeycomb. You can also clearly see the yellow expanding edge foam in the neck and handle. There's a visible gap between the EPP and EVA layers, so about a 1/4 inch across most of the paddle. And that gap is actually a good thing. It prevents the layers from separating over time, which reduces break-in and keeps performance consistent. And next I cut open a cross section of the face. Under the microscope, at first looks like a single unidirectional carbon fiber layer, but when you look closer, it's actually 2 layers, both nearly aligned with the long axis of the paddle, so slightly offset from one another. And this layup is very unique. Most paddles alternate carbon fiber at 0 and 90 degrees or 0 and 45 degrees, but this subtle offset means the face flexes more along the long axis of the paddle and is stiffer side to side. More on why that matters at the end of this video. Let's move on to how these paddles actually perform. First, here's a TLDR chart for those of you who don't want all the details and prefer a 20-second summary. Both paddles offer serious firepower. The elongated goes right up to the legal limit, and the wide body is just under. Spin is elite on both. My wide body got slightly less than the elongated, but within the margin of error. Sweet spot is big on both, and the wide body definitely has the advantage here. Lastly, both paddles feel great, and considering the amount of firepower, they both have reasonable forgiveness. forgiveness. And now let's dig into the data. So spin, power, pop, maneuverability, and sweet spot. The radar chart shows raw numbers at the top with percentile rankings at the bottom across my database of 300 plus paddles. High numbers on the left equal power, top right equals control and forgiveness, and bottom equals hand speed and maneuverability. And what we're looking at on the screen right now is the Boomstik elongated. You can see it's an exceptionally well-balanced paddle, meaning it scores high on everything you want, and it scores lower on the things you don't want. So check out the power and pop percentiles, both high 90s. Same with spin, and for an elongated paddle, the twist weight looks great, indicating a wide sweet spot. And the swing weight and balance point also look good, which translates into good hand speed and maneuverability for an elongated paddle, which are typically heavier and harder to swing. And looking at the wide body now, you can see the bottom of the chart changes dramatically, shifting to very lightweight and maneuverable. It's still a power paddle, both power and pop are very high, and compared to the elongated, you get slightly less power and more pop. Spin is still elite, and twist weight is as high as you can go, right at the 100th percentile, which means the sweet spot should be fantastic. And by the way, you can compare these radar charts to hundreds of others on my site, JohnKewPickleball.com. I also tested both of these paddles with my ball cannon to get a KewCOR score, which basically is a measure of how much energy the paddle gives back to the ball, like USAP's PBCOR or UPA's PEF. So the elongated Boomstik scored 0.431, right at the top of the high power category, and the wide body Boomstik scored 0.411, right in the middle of the high power category. And these numbers confirm what you'll feel on the court, which I'll discuss right now. Both paddles are explosive. You'll feel the power and hear it too. These paddles are noticeably loud, and that sound adds to the aggressive feel of these paddles. I'd rank the Boomstiks a little behind the body Helix Flick in terms of legal power, and they do hit harder than the Yola Pro 4, the Paddletech Bantams, and the Gearbox GX2 Power, although I'd say that the Gearbox is sneaking up on the Boomstiks. And what surprised me most was the control and forgiveness. There's a ton of pop, so you'll need to stay focused to avoid pop-ups, but compared to other power paddles, the Boomstik strikes a great balance. Spin is one of its biggest strengths. It's easy to shape shots, whether you're flicking at the kitchen or driving from the baseline. And with this much power, you'll need that level of spin to keep your shots in. So I'm still injured, so I haven't logged a ton of competitive play since my visit to the Selkirk HQ, and thankfully Eddie's been helping to test, and we've got impressions from other players as well. Boomstik.
Boomstik today, John. It's boomy. The sound actually belies its power a little bit. I mean, it's a good power paddle. It's definitely a mid-tier to upper-tier power, but the sound is just off the charts. So you think you're getting more out of it than you actually are sometimes, which caused me to hit some short drives, some shorter serves than I was expecting, just because of the sound differential to the power. So I think once you get over that initial adjustment time period, this Boomstik's going to treat you well. I would say near elite for pop, down a little bit for power. It's not quite as high on the power scale as it is for pop. Blocks with this thing, you've got to be very mindful. This is kind of a touch and go paddle. Those shots coming in, it's really just one of those hold your paddle up and let the paddle do the work. Any forward motion on the paddle on a block coming, the ball's going to go flying. And that happened to me a couple times today. I think it's an adjustment for control. Control on drives was excellent. This paddle has a lot of good dwell time. I was able to put my drives exactly where I wanted them. But again, for blocks, for the short game, that's going to take some adjustment. And for that, the control is not there right out of the box. Oh man, wide body for a sweet spot, elongated for a little extra punch. So I guess it's depending on what your preference is. These are really, I would say, forgiving paddles in terms of drives, serves. I think if that's your game, these are going to treat you well. If your game is defense and resetting, you might like this paddle, but again, it's not something that's going to treat you well right out of the box. I would say if you're a fan of the SLK ERA or ERA paddles, this is going to feel very similar, but a little bit more in every dimension, a little bit more spin, a little bit more power, a little bit more pop.
I'm TK. I just tried the Selkirk paddle, and overall I really liked it. It was a little poppy, but because it's shorter, I feel like it's really easier to do overheads and some of the drives.
What's the sweet spot?
The sweet spot, yeah, I think it was good. It was more stable than a lot of the longer paddles. So yeah, overall I really liked it. Right now I'm playing with the Agassi, Yola Agassi, and that has a longer paddle, so I feel like that one tends to be a little heavier. This one, it's a little bit more poppy than the one that I'm currently playing, but it's easier to like swing maybe because of the shorter handle.
So my name's Kevin, and this is my first time trying out the Boomstik, and I have to say overall I really like it. Currently I play with the new Yola Pro 4, and so compared to this, I like the power on this. It's got good power, also just the sound, like that thud sounds really great, it's really satisfying. Also it's got good grit, so you can get spin. I really feel like I can manipulate and shape the ball really well. And yeah, these side things, they're really interesting. You know, functionality, I feel like the sweet spot's pretty good. It's got a wide sweet spot. I like the shape of it, actually. It's pretty good, coming from a Perseus Pro 4. And then the handle itself feels really great. It's got a good grip to it. So overall, I think playability was really great. I really love playing with it, and I would definitely play with it again. Yeah, dinks and resets. So yeah, it's definitely poppy, so you have to learn to tame that down a little bit. But being able to get the shape on it really helps, so you can really spin your dinks, which is good. And resets too, again, because of the pop, you just gotta kind of brace it. You don't have to put much power or anything. You can just kind of hold the paddle and it'll reset for you. So, but yeah, overall, I think it's a great paddle.
Misty Calabuso here, and I'm doing a review, first impressions for this paddle. At first, the paddle that I'm usually playing with is a little bit longer, so the first thing I did was miss the ball. I didn't even drill with it first, but after playing with it for a minute, I actually really like it. I feel like it has good power, and it's good for also resetting. So the weight of it is really good. I didn't feel like it was too heavy for me. And then the handle length, I like the handle length, so it was really good. I do feel like it's a little extra gritty than what I'm used to, so yeah, I like it for the control of the spin. Yeah.
My name's Adam. I just got done playing with the Selkirk Labs Boomstik. I really like the spin control and just the overall feel of the paddle and the control that it gives you right out of the gate. I play with the Paddletech Bantam TKO CX 12.7 millimeter. This definitely has a lot more dwell time and kind of control with the ball. It also has good pop and good power.
So my main concern here is that loose edge guard. When I removed those MOI weights, the guard came loose and more easily than I'd expect, even considering the force that I used. And that kind of focused weight on a small area could cause long-term wear. And Selkirk is aware of this issue from earlier prototypes, and they say that they are taking care of it, but it's worth keeping an eye on. That said, the Boomstik comes with a lifetime warranty, and Selkirk is known for excellent customer service, often sending replacements before you even send the old paddle back. So you've probably heard me say it before, more power usually means less control. But the Boomstik and a few other recent releases are changing that equation. The paddle delivers elite level power and serious control thanks to three main factors. Number one, spin, which came in at around 2,300 RPM on both models. That's top tier, helping you shape and drop aggressive shots. Number two is the sweet spot, which is oversized, especially on the wide body. And I think what's making a big difference here are the MOI weights and the dual density foam core. And lastly, number three is dwell time. The ball just stays on the face longer than most other power paddles, giving you more control on resets, dinks, and spin shots. The foam core and that unique dual unidirectional layup both contribute here. One more thought on that layup. Because the carbon fibers run mostly vertically, the paddle flexes more along the long axis, and that helps generate more spin, sort of similar to how vertical strings on a tennis racket play a bigger role in spin than the cross strings. So, is the Boomstik worth over $100 more than some of its top competitors? Let's break it down. First, let's compare the Honolulu full foams, so the NF and FC+. They objectively play great and cost way less. If you don't need maximum power or Infinigrit, and Selkirk's warranty and support aren't priorities, go Honolulu. And let's also compare the Gearbox GX2 Power. It's a close match in terms of raw performance, both elite firepower and good feel and forgiveness, and it's about $50 cheaper and super solid. But it has a 1-year warranty, and I suspect that its spin won't hold up as well long term. So in the end, the value comes down to two things. Number one, Infinigrit, which looks to be the most durable face texture on the market, even though this still needs to be proven on the courts and not just in the lab. And number two, Selkirk's lifetime warranty and excellent service. So there you have it. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.